What's happening, everybody? Joseph here coming at you. Time to talk about something that's been sweeping the nation. Kind of. Not really. Who knows? Anyway, it's a thing that I've been reading and watching and been paying very close attention to in the last week or so. And I've been meaning to make videos and stuff about it. I've been writing about it as well. And it is this gem right here. The Netflix series, as well as the book. I'm about halfway through the book. And there's like a million videos about how there's differences and stuff like that. I suggest you buy the book. I suggest you watch the series. You watch the series. The series is gonna affect you. Episodes 9 and 12. Of season 1. Apparently, there's a season 2, maybe, that they're like trying to prepare for. I guess that'd be fine. I don't know. But episodes 9 and 12 have pretty nasty depictions of sexual assault, and episode 12 I think has some suicide. Has a really horrific suicide scene. Reminded me of 7 Pounds. So if anyone's ever seen that movie, yeah. And I kind of saw that coming, but still, when I actually saw it, I was like, you know what I mean? So yeah, okay. So that's a brief synopsis of the show and the book. What's it actually about? It's about a chick who, gets put in the wrong situations. It's almost like, if anyone remembers Lemony Snicket, a series of unfortunate events, it's very much like that, where this seemingly innocent high school girl just gets caught in the wrong crowd, like almost constantly, and it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And I'll be making another video about this, but she keeps going to this crowd to see if things will change, to see if things will be different, and no, it just gets worse. And at the end, she makes a whole bunch of tapes, which are pretty much a very long-winded suicide note. 13 of them, one side each of 7 tapes, and leaves the final side of the final tape blank. Yeah. And she pretty much tells all these guys, "Yo, man, you had something to do with this. The misunderstandings that we had kind of led me to off myself." And some people are saying that that's kind of sending a message that you have to feel guilty about it. Others say that, we need to be aware of stuff. I would say, and it's just my opinion, I don't mean to get on my soapbox, especially on this channel, where I want to talk about performing to the best of your ability, or to an ability that is 1 ounce better than what you were before. And I will talk about that in a few minutes. But yeah, I'd say it's a combination of both. I'd say it is. I mean, the girl who does these tapes. Yeah, it could be argued that she's making people feel guilty about not saving her, and I have kind of a revelation for that. I'll definitely. I've been reading the book and watching the show very objectively now, and cherry picking points in it where. Well, you'll see. Anyways, yeah. You'll see when I make the other video. And I'm going to make a podcast about this as well. And that's going to be on my Twitch channel, which I'm going to be heading on right now. I'm going to go on Twitch for a little bit. So meet me there at twitch.tv/Joseph if you would like to hear what I have to say about it. That's going to go on the air tomorrow. I'm going to mention it tonight when I get on stream. But yeah, you could take it both ways. every character seems to just be taken over by this high school mentality. And that's really what I got out of it, is that, wow, the high school mentality, man, if you don't have a very strong support system, it'll swallow you. It'll swallow you, and you will not be forgiven. And you'll be left behind, like, easily. So, yeah. Okay. Now I want to talk about recovery, okay? Because, let me tell you, man, and I'm going to give some spoilers, a little bit spoilers. I'm only going to talk about the girl who offed herself and the things that happened to her. Okay. So, she witnesses an assault, a sexual assault. And then a boy who she kind of likes but doesn't really, but the boy likes her a lot, makes a couple moves on her. She pushes them away because she just witnessed a chick getting assaulted. I don't know about rape, because rape involves intercourse. I don't think they went that far, even in the show. In the book, definitely not. In the book, it was just like, oh, he forced himself onto her and made some moves. But in the show, it shows that it's very, very possible that there was intercourse. You know, so she pushes him away, and she's like, you need to just leave me alone. And then she's like, you listened. Why the fuck did you listen? You know? So it's misunderstandings like that that really summarize the entire show. Everything is usually a stupid rumor, a misunderstanding, just everyone protecting their egos. I saw a lot of that, and I saw a lot of that in my high school experience as well, my own high school experience, which I'm going to be talking about in my podcast. I'm going to talk about that, my high school experience, my podcast tomorrow. Podcast/stream, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be cool. You guys are going to like that. If any of you follow my Twitch channel, which all of you should. Okay? Then she gets assaulted herself. Alright? And in my follow-up video to this, on my YouTube channel, I'm going to explain why that happens. Okay? And then, after that, she goes to the school counselor. School counselor says, well, we can either bring him in and question him, or you can just let him run free and try to get over it yourself. He doesn't offer anything. He doesn't go like, oh, join this group. Join this support group. Or, oh, let me call the authorities because I think you're trying to kill yourself. We don't want you to do that. So we want to protect you. So we're just gonna have you under suicide watch. This way you don't do something that everyone's gonna regret. He doesn't offer any of those solutions. And I'll talk about why that's important, much later on as well. Okay? Alright. So, yeah. And that's pretty much the synopsis of the book and the show. Alright. Now, I've had suicidal ideation before. Okay? And when I was in high school, just like the girl in the book, it was, I think, like, in senior year, I had this crush on this girl, and then she was all I thought about, and then she shot me down, like, the worst way possible. Like, I got accused of harassment just by hanging around her. I didn't do anything that the one dude was doing in the show. I'm not going to say his name. But I didn't do anything that was in the show. I didn't make any moves. I didn't grope. I didn't even say anything that was remotely chauvinistic. I just hung around this girl like a lost puppy, and yeah, I deserved some kind of discipline. But did I deserve to be? And we got closure, and it got mulled over. But did I deserve to be accused of harassment just for hanging around a girl like a lost puppy? Especially when I didn't know any better, because I was really socially awkward back then? I don't think so. But that hurt me, you know what I mean? Almost as much as the girl in 13 Reasons Why was hurt after she got or even after she witnessed the assault. You know, and yeah, I started self-harming. I didn't do it where anyone could see. It was usually my bicep, or like, or my leg, like right next to my crotch. I'm laughing about it now because I've survived. But back then, holy, I mean, even in my blog, which I'll post in the description, in my blog, I will. What I intend to do is I intend to go through my old journal entries. For some reason, I kept my old journal entries from when I was in, junior high and high school and some college, and it'll show you exactly what I was going through. So be on the lookout for that. You should follow my blog as well. Both of them. I'm gonna post both of them in the description. Yeah. And 2 years before that, I was I talked about this in another video, and I even do a video where I was in front of the house where I got assaulted. I got raped. I got, you know, I can joke about it now and call it surprise butt sex because I got over it. But back then, I had no idea what happened to me. You know what I mean? I was just like, what just happened? Did something really bad just happen to me? And because of that, I divorced from pretty much everything that my high school involved, and I wasn't able to relate to many people in high school at all. And that high school experience I'm going to talk about at great length in tomorrow's Twitch stream. So be on the lookout for that. I don't think any of you want to miss that, because it's going to reveal a lot of things about me that I think are very admirable, but also very despicable. And I want to leave it for the viewers to decide what kind of a person I am when I do this stream tomorrow. And I think it'll be very helpful. I'm going to put it on YouTube as well when the VOD for it comes out, after I'm done with the stream. I think it's going to be very helpful for those who are like the girl in 13 Reasons Why, who, whether male or female, doesn't really fucking matter, right? I mean, who are considering ending their own lives, because that has been the thing I've been wrestling with for, I'd like to say, ever since high school began. Or not even that, yeah, ever since high school began. Up until maybe about 5 or so, or 3 or so years ago. Late 2014 is when, I mean, ever since, like, we'll say 2015, I've been like, alright, let's full throttle, full speed ahead. I even argue that happened maybe 5 years ago in 2012, but I've had, you know, kind of little peaks and valleys since then. Okay. And the reason how that happened, and I'm going to be honest here. Whenever I give advice, I always say this. I say, I'm not a therapist. I'm not an expert of any sort. I'm just a man with a story. Okay? My road to recovery may be, and, well, let's be honest, it's completely different from anyone else's road to recovery. Okay? But there are also similarities. Okay? And in tomorrow's stream, because that's going to take a long time for me to say, for me to talk about, I will definitely talk about that in tomorrow's stream, for sure. Okay? But my road to recovery revolved around Defiant, acceptance, and adaptation. Okay? I took a look at myself about 5 or so years ago. Okay? I had just taken time off school because I was taking out too many student loans. My grades were absolute shit. Everything around me just smelled like ass. What do you call it? That's an analogy, you know what I mean? But everything around me was awful. Like, everything, even my cat died, like, right in front of me. Like, really? And that was the icing on the cake. That's when I said to myself, alright, I am getting fucking help, because god damn it, I need it. And I didn't really have many people to I didn't really have much. I had a support system, but they were just kind of there. You know what I mean? And so I said to myself, how am I going to do this? Because a part of me doesn't want to live, but a part of me really does. And then I said, okay, what are you curious about? Okay? People don't respect curiosity. People don't understand what a powerful emotion curiosity can be. How it can drive somebody to do either great things for themselves or, as I'll explain in the book, I'll explain when I make a follow-up video to this, how it can drive someone to do really self-damaging things. But I remember I took a whole day and I just like wrote shit down. I said, okay, what do I want in the future? All right. What do I want 5 years from now? What do I want 10 years from now? Okay? And at that point I just said, oh, I just want to stop thinking of offing myself. I want to stop that. And I said to myself, okay, how am I going to do this? And then I said to myself, what's preventing me from doing these things? What's preventing me from making me feel, like a kid again, like an innocent little kid again, you know what I mean? I said, okay, maybe I am too I'm too centered around the groups I'm in. And that's a big thing in high school. That's a big thing in the high school mentality. You need to be a part of a clique. If you're not part of a clique, and I explain this in my blogs, is that in high school you're very much centered around your group. You're free. You don't have freedom in high school. You don't. You don't have freedom of self-expression. You don't have freedom of self. You don't have freedom to self-govern. You don't have freedom to do your own thing. You have to socially survive, not socially prosper. Big difference between social survival and social prosperity. High school teaches social survival. Social prosperity you have to learn on your own. And so I said that's exactly what I said to myself. I said, you know what? I can't impress the people I'm around, my bowling buddies. I can't. They're being very exclusionary to me. Okay, so now, what do? I said to myself, let me find new bowling buddies, because I'm able to make friends, so let me use that and see if I can make some better friends. And I did. Okay? I took the partnerships that I wanted to be around, that I wanted to impress. I said, fuck all you can go fuck yourselves because you are not being supportive to me. I looked to the other set of bowling buddies that I had who I didn't know that well, but I wanted to know them. And I said, you know what, I'm going to gravitate towards you guys. Okay? And that was step one. Okay? I was defiant. I said, you know what, the people who were down for years before I met this new group of people, they failed me. So now I have to look to the new group to replace them. And that was where the ball got rolling. That's when I said to myself, you know what, okay, why don't I do this with the opposite sex? Why don't I stop trying to get with chicks around my bowling team circles and just ask chicks out at my job? And so I did that. Okay? And then I said, why don't I revisit the fundamentals that I probably have lost in developing my love life, because my love life was shit. Okay? I said to myself, okay, let's have infinite possibilities here. Don't limit yourself. We limit ourselves a lot. We're told to limit ourselves. We're told, oh, you can only go to this. You can only do this. This is the only thing you can do. You can't, the other ones don't even consider it. You know what I mean? And I would have to revamp that again in 2014, late 2014. And that's how I discovered online dating. Okay? The thing I'm trying to get at is that in order to be defiant, in order to defiantly accept and adapt, you need to look at possibilities. Okay? Possibilities that work for you, not for others. That's what happens to the girl in 13 Reasons Why. Is she's always trying to please someone else. She's always trying to make sure that she fits in. She wants to socially survive. So and aiming for social survival in a setting like high school, it's very, very risky, because you don't know if the other group is if the other people are going to accept you or not. Maybe they'll accept you one day, maybe they won't the next. That happens to a popular girl who this popular girl kind of uses the girl who kills herself in 13 Reasons Why. And then she says in reflection, she's like, "Oh, I saw that coming, but I wanted your approval anyway. Why did I do that?" You know what I mean? And you can tell that she's regretting these decisions, and that reveals a whole nother thing that I'm going to be talking about later on for sure, in a different video, not this one. Okay, so, and that's recovery. That's recovery. You have to defy what people want you to think, okay? Look, I'm a victim, okay? I am. I'm a victim of all kinds of crazy, stupid bullshit, okay? Look, 20 years ago to this day, my parents divorced. I'll never forget it. My mom ran out on me. My mom woke me up. It was like noon. I had the day off school. It was a weekend. And she woke me up. She was like banging on my door. And she hands me a $20 bill. She's like, "Come downstairs with me." I'm like, "All right, fine, come downstairs." And she gave me a big hug. And she's like, "I hope you forgive me one day for doing this." And I go, "Whatever." And she speeds off. And I didn't see her again for a few months. You know how much that fucking hurt at 14 and some change years old? Right before high school, right before what they say is the most important time in your life. It really isn't. But, that notwithstanding, you know what I mean? And then 1 year later, a childhood friend rapes me. Are you kidding me? So, and that was 1997, then 1998. By 1999, I'm like, fuck everything. I'm like, you know what? I'm divorcing myself from everything. I'm just going to live like I'm an 11-year-old kid. And I did. Okay? But in doing that, I was extremely happy. Because I reclaimed my innocence. And I was defiant. Okay? My high school, the environment I was in, they didn't want me to be a kid. They wanted me to get with the groups and get involved. There was get involved fucking posters everywhere in my fucking high school. I swear to goddamn Jesus. And I'm like, I know if I join those groups, if I get with that crowd, I'm gonna want things from them. And paradoxically, I wanted to be around them. And I'll talk about that tomorrow for sure. But yeah, so for a while I divorced myself from it, and then I developed this crush on this cheerleader. I didn't know how to talk to anybody because I was just like, because my routine for a good 2 years was just go to school, go home, play video games, and sleep in class, and maybe do homework if I have to pass my class. You know what I mean? I literally slept myself to like a C+ average in high school. Ridiculous. And I can look back on that now and laugh, but at the time, yeah, not so much. Anyways, so, and what I realized was that I was right all along. Is that you shouldn't center your life around others. You can't. There's no certainty there. You get plenty of uncertainty, okay? You get plenty of significance, and I'm going to talk about the 6 needs of fulfillment. It's part of a thing called the 6 needs of fulfillment. I'm going to talk about that in great detail tomorrow in the podcast and in the stream. But yeah, that's how it was, for sure. And so I was able to defiantly accept and adapt the things that happened to me because I didn't do what others wanted me to do. You know what I mean? I didn't want to go for the groups. I didn't want to go to the parties. I didn't want to go to any of that crap. All I wanted to do was just go to school, sleep through classes, go home, play video games, go to the gym, play guitar, whatever, and do my own thing. Just do me. I did me better than anyone else in my high school. I did. And I was able to relate to a lot of people. And guess what? I wasn't popular, but I wasn't unpopular. I wasn't popular, but I was an outcast for sure. But I chose to be an outcast, and that is what social prosperity is. Social prosperity is the ability to relate and socialize with others, and not feel like you're left out, but not join their games, but not join their groups. And that's something that that's something that the girl in 13 Reasons Why, she had that ability. And she was on the cusp of social prosperity. But her environment, the high school environment, pressured her to seek instead social survival. Big difference. Big difference. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow on twitch.tv/Joseph. Please, please, please tune in. My God, you will not want to fucking miss this, because the stream, the podcast will blow your mind, and you're going to see me do some speedrunning as well. I'm going to do speedrun of Zelda 2 all keys pretty much for 4 or so hours. It's going to be from probably from 2 in the afternoon till about this time. Probably maybe a little later, who knows. So tune the fuck in and be prepared. You guys are gonna love it. Alright. I will catch you all later. Take care of yourself. Peace.